there, I'm Melinda Foster, a good friend of Tina Raines. She asked me if I would share some of my tips and tools and secrets from being in the entertainment industry. You may recognize me as a former host from the Home Shopping Network, or a face you've seen maybe on a commercial, but you didn't really know me before, but now you do. So let's start with something that this week that I'm going to call posture is perfect. So I notice that as we age, and I'm 65, so I can speak from a little bit of experience, that I notice that we have a tendency to lean a little forward, and our heads tend to come a little bit forward also, which gives you this kind of effect. It's very natural. Gravity is going to pull the heaviest thing forward. In this case, it's your head. And unless you fight against that, you're going to start to look slumped over. Shoulders are going to go forward. Your gut's going to kind of come out. This is a very familiar look. If we have, my mom's 88 and she kind of looks like this. And I am fighting against that, and maybe you would like to too. So when we're going in for a business meeting, or a date with a new guy, or a date with our husband, all of us probably want to put our best foot forward. So one of the ways of doing that, and I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, maybe it's just a really good reminder. How are you standing and how are you moving? So the first thing you want to do is make sure, just to start to get a feel for what our bodies feel like when they're in the right position. So if you have your feet about hip width apart, and you tuck your hips under, but you don't lock your knees, you lift your, instead of your ribs being down here on what used to be your waist, you're going to lift your ribs up. You're going to imagine there's a string right here pulling your chest up, kind of like where that sternum bone is, that breastbone is. You're going to lift that up. Have your shoulders down and relaxed. If you have a tendency to do this with your shoulders, I'm going to encourage you to lift your shoulders up to your ears, roll them back, and then as you stand here, bring your thumbs to the outside. That's going to take your shoulders from being in to kind of being out and back. And then instead of tucking your chin like this, where you would get like a double, triple chin, I want you to just move it back, straight back. And then imagine that your head is also being lifted to the heavens. So this would be perfect posture. Now I want you to just take a deep sigh, low inhale. Now feel yourself ease into this space. So this posture, you don't want it rigid like a soldier. You want it to feel relaxed and mobile, as if you are a dancer and you could move from one foot to the next very easily. So this kind of posture, you're coming in for a business meeting. Are you hassled and worried and like you're like all frenetic or whatever, or are you nice and calm and you go to the receptionist and say, hi, I've got an appointment with Mr. or Ms. so-and-so, and you're ready for that time. Being in your body, feeling it, feeling yourself nice and upright and light and playful, but also grounded in that body is a very important thing. So you're imagining now that you're in this space, feeling your body, feeling grounded in it, feeling very strong and powerful, but in a kind of soft, feminine kind of a way, which is kind of the way I think of masterpiece women, is strong and yet ability to touch that soft gentleness of being a woman also. So it can be challenging sometimes to come across as strong and lose that piece of us that's feminine, that's also very attractive to men and women when they feel an authentically strong person. So as another piece of the same posture type of a thing, I just want you to just pay attention this next week to how you are moving. Are you rushing like this and your head's down, you're going crazy? Or are you back and relaxed? When you sit down for your meetings or for a luncheon or whatever, are you kind of a little bit more on the edge of your seat so that you are available to the people that are your audience, whether it's someone you're having lunch with or whether you're at a Masterpiece Women luncheon, or again, a date with someone new or your husband. Are you kind of like sitting here like this? You're kind of slumped over, you don't really have any presence, or again, feeling yourself lift up. Your little sits bones, which are right here at your bottom, they're kind of grounded into the chair as if they're like growing roots all the way into the ground. So it's very strong, it's very stable. And then if you're, in this case, if we were sitting up at the bar, you have this ability with this particular chair to put your feet up here, or, dangling is fine too. I like to kind of cross my legs just because I feel like it keeps my legs together. I'm not one to sit like this too often, maybe at a football game kind of a thing when I'm wearing pants and stuff. But I'm also a little bit forward. I'm giving attention to the person who's either a speaker or if it's a new client or whomever. But the idea is that you are aware of how you are coming across. You're not obsessed with it. You're just very confident in this space. So just this next week, pay attention to how am I moving on the planet? How am I interacting? Am I in my body? Am I conscious of myself? And how am I coming across? We talked about doing the 360. This is one of the pieces of the 360 that I think is really kind of key is, are you presenting yourself the way you want to be perceived? So think about that this week, and next week I'll come back with something else. Maybe we'll do something a little more of a beauty tip. Thanks so much for the time, and I hope you're enjoying your membership in Masterpiece Women.